Hey folks, it's Dale. It's been about 4 months, 4 months, maybe five since I've done any of these, but I do have a lot to talk about at this point in time. I was sick about 2.5 months of that and that period, but I'm pretty much better now. And so, I mean, we've been coming to the store regularly, but I just didn't feel led to talk about anything earlier. I'm aware of your time, and I don't want to take too much time, but I want to go over. That's a lot of water over the dam during this period of time. Uh, Early on, I got a book by Glenn Beck called The Great Reset, and I had never read anything by Glenn Beck. I could go into more detail, but I just want to do some things quick. Unfortunately, I can't really push these in huge quantities because I don't have the price point. I have to charge what Amazon charges me plus $5, and that would be 28 plus 5, so that's $33. That makes this book kind of difficult to work with. Uh, that came out not too long ago. The Great Reset is an important thing to understand, and he does an excellent job. And what Glenn does is he has one chapter at the very end where he goes into detail what we can do about it, and that's very important. So enough about Glenn Beck. I'm just going to touch on these real quickly. Uh, if you'll remember, we started with this book, really pushing this. I was able to get the price down to $11.99, and probably altogether we sold uh, about 50 to 60 copies of this. And this book is still useful because it's talking about the things we're all fighting now, which is like the cancel culture and so forth. So it's still useful. And now I have it dropped down from $11.99 down to $8.99. I'm trying to price these books, especially the ones I'm pushing, at prices that are equal to CBD because they're about the lowest out there, and that's what I've done. I've leveled the price down. We have about 8 copies of this left. It's now $8.99, same price as CBD. Now, what's interesting to note is the guy that wrote this, Erwin W. Lutzer, has this to say in a new book by Eric Metaxas, and this is just out. This is just a few days out. It's called Letter to the American Church. And what Eric is saying in this book, by the way, this one we have just one copy. This book is $22.99 plus, again, plus $5 because it's Amazon. So that makes it impractical. But interestingly enough, guess who's on the front covers talking about Erwin W. Lutzer. And he says this book is like a bucket of cold water thrown into the face of a sleeping church. There it is, folks. A bucket of cold water thrown into the face of a sleeping church. I'm just running over these very quickly. His thesis, unfortunately, is that the church here in America, is not any more prepared to deal with the woke culture than the German church was to deal with Hitler when Hitler came on the scene. That's a very serious thing. Now, I'm trying to get him into the area to speak, somewhere in the Albany area. And if I get him, I'm hoping that you can get the book much less expensive from him. So I'll keep you posted on how that's going. I'm working on that right now as we speak. So that's that book. Then, that's 3 of them. Then we have Return of the Gods, which I was aware about, but I didn't bring in. I had a lot of copies of Jonathan Cahn's book, Harbinger 2, which I still recommend, and I have some copies left over. But I took those copies and returned them so I could get this book and Return of the Gods and It's Our Turn Now by Mario Murillo. Let me take them one at a time. His thesis, Jonathan Cahn's, in this book, is that the gods that were kicked out of society, literally were kicked out of society about the 4th or 5th century. And when I start talking about this, I want to read a quote. It's just amazing. Jonathan is amazing with his writing anyway. So, by the way, I'm able to sell this for $18.49, which I believe is, yes, that is CBD's price. Lower than Amazon and the same price as CBD. And I have 12 copies of this in stock right now. His thesis that back when Christianity was hot, when people were getting murdered, for being Christians, eventually it had its effect on the Western culture, and the gods were no longer being worshipped. And I'll quote from the book, the exact quote. It's amazing. You're gonna want to hear this. Anyway, Jonathan again is right on. I'm telling you, he's right on. And I'll discuss him a little later on, but it's an excellent book, and we have it at a fairly reasonable price here. So just wanted to let you know about that. And the last one I want to talk to you about is It's Our Turn Now. And we definitely want to focus on this because this is basically about evangelism. And this is by Mario Murillo. Hold up a little higher, Mario Murillo. And I'm selling this for $14.99. And again, I have beaten Amazon's price, and I'm right equal with CBD's price on this book. And I think we got 14 copies of this book right now, and we can get some more if it goes real fast. Anyway, he tells us not only to get into evangelism, but he tells us how to be effective evangelists and how to not do some of the things that were done wrong in the past. It's an excellent book. We'll go into it in more detail, but I just wanted to let you know that we have all these books in the store now. Right now. I have about 14 copies of this. I don't know if you know, Mario is the guy that's going up and down the main turnpike in North and South Turnpike in California, preaching to the unwanted population. The people are living in tents or less than that, under the thruway there. And he's had marvelous success, both evangelistically, and he has signs following, so people are getting healed as well. So that's pretty much it. I'd also like to put in a plug for a conference that I'm going to this coming Saturday. Today is the 1st of March. That conference is the 4th of March. And you'll probably hear about this you'll get this either Thursday or Friday. Anyway, that's about it, folks. And I went maybe a little bit over, but I wanted to give you kind of an overview. So keep in touch. We'll be coming out with more detail information on these 5 books. There's another one that I'm going to bring in by John Brevier in title, I think, The Awe of the Lord, or The Awe of God, whatever. I can't remember the exact title, but it looks like it's going to be excellent. Well, thank you for your attention, And I will try and keep you posted with what's really important. There's a lot going on right now. Thank you so much.